Alright guys, I'm going to be showing you how to add in some blur effect in the background so you can blur out the background and give it some of that fake depth of field look. So the first thing we're going to do, there are many ways to do this. This is how I do it. This is the most easiest way I've found and quickest way because I do upload daily. So this is how quickly I do this under 5 minutes on most of my video thumbnails. So yeah, so what you want to do, first thing is duplicate your photo or image. Make sure you've got it open and just duplicate by right clicking on the layer and clicking duplicate layer and then just renaming it if you want. I'm just going to press OK. So now what we're going to do, make sure the duplicated layer is selected. We're going to go straight up to filter and we're going to go to blur and we're going to click on gaussian blur. Now this is where you want to just mess around with how much you want the background to blur. Don't worry about the lady that's been blurred. We want the lady to not be blurred, but don't worry about that. So, if you really want a lot of blur, not like that, just figure out what type of blur you want, the amount. So I kind of want to stay like this. I don't want to blur everyone out too much, but this is fine, about 6 or 5. I'm going to click OK. So next thing you want to do is click on layer mask. So it's right here and just click that button and it's going to add a layer mask. Now usually what you want to do is go to this. If it's just a paint bucket here, just right click and click on the gradient tool and make sure that foreground to background is selected. And what would usually happen is if I want to do this, I have a bunch of people in the background there that are still not blurred out. So I'm going to show you a better way to do this. So what you want to do is go up here, right click and select the polygonal lasso tool, and what you can do is just hide this layer. Just make sure this is still clicked, and I'm just going to zoom in by going down here and I'm just going to speed this up. But basically you want to go around her, around the thing you want to stay in focus. So I'm just going to speed this up or just skip ahead. It's alright if it's a bit rough. I'm going to do it slightly rough, but yeah, it shouldn't look too bad if you do it rough. But this is where, the more you do it, the quicker you'll just get at doing this and the easier it gets. Alright guys, so I've gone around her, and if I just zoom out a bit, let me put it at 70%. So now what we want to do is go back to this gradient tool and make sure foreground and background is selected. So now make sure that you make the layer back and appear instead of leaving it as a hide layer, and make sure the actual mask is selected and just drag it down, and this is what we have. Now we can do select and deselect to get rid of that, and you can see now that we have a nice picture where she's in focus. And if with little things like this, one thing I tend to do is use the blur tool here and just go in and blur all of this. If we select the other layers and just blur it in just to make it go away. So this is how I do it. You could use another tool like the lasso tool and go around if you want, more of a natural look and then blur the edges. But this is the way I do it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Give it a like if it helped you, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see some more tutorials. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed.